scheme review. I think it should come to no one's surprise that the new ally scheme for Jimmie Johnson is a load of fucking shit, to be honest. Hendrix paint department have not only given us trash tier paint schemes, but they've insisted on giving us trash tier paint schemes. Just take a look at the Chase Elliott's Sun Energy car, for example. I mean, for God's sake, the thing was beautiful a few years ago. Back when it's made its debut in the Xfinity Series, then it made its way to the Cup Series, and it was actually a good scheme. And then Hendrick decided to ruin it and make it this off blue, white, ugly thing with a low-res bitmap picture of the Disturbed Indestructible cover art on the back end of it. I don't know what in God's name this is supposed to be. And no, it's not good. It's not good, that's for sure. And if you're gonna give me this instead of the original scheme, boy, we have to have a conversation right now. And of course, that's the one that Elliott had to win in, so now it's the one that's going to become iconic, even though the one that came before actually was good. But like I said, Hendrick's paint department insists on having bad paint schemes, and you saw it with Chase Elliott's Mountain Dew car, which is just poopy. A poopy green. Good shit, guys, good shit. At least Little Caesars made that exact same paint thematic there viewable without immediate dry heaving. So it should come to no surprise that the ally scheme is absolute dog shit. And I mean that in the kindest way, Hendrick. You've had good paints in the past. Just not the recent past. Let me start by talking about the Lows for Pro scheme, because it's going to be difficult to talk about a new Jimmie Johnson scheme without mentioning the Lows for Pro scheme. And not even just the Lows for Pro, the Lows for Pros scheme. We have to talk about Lows, because Lows has literally been on Jimmie Johnson's car ever since his first Cup start. It's the fact that he's not going to have Lows on his car this season, that alone is jarring enough to justify any new paint scheme as being not good enough. But I want to mention Lows for Pros because people didn't like the scheme from last year. And I kind of agree, kind of not really, because the Lows for Pros scheme that was revealed at the big reveal when all the Camaros were first seen, like that scheme, like that one had no redeeming qualities, okay? That one was just absolute trash, okay? I agree with y'all on that. But once they finally got rid of those shoehorn stripes and kind of gave the scheme its own identity, like that's when it started growing on me. And you see, black and gray schemes are difficult to pull off properly because they all seem dreary or incomplete. But when they're done well, like, they're pretty good. And this one's no exception, because you want to know how to make a black and gray scheme work? You need an accent color. And that yellow 48. Absolutely perfect. The text, absolutely perfect. They pulled off the Lows for Pro scheme. Now we need to discuss the ally scheme. Oh my dear sweet Lord above, what is this? I mean, did they intentionally make this as bad as they possibly could? Did they make this horrible on purpose? Like, honestly. So once again, it's an all-black scheme, but you see, the problem with using an all-black scheme and an accent color with that is that you have no balance there. You need that white or gray accent to go along with the purple accent. And it's not a purple accent. You see, the thing is, that's not the accent color. The purple is part of the scheme. The accent color is yellow. So we got black, purple, and yellow. That's clashing. That's very much clashing. If they made the like the top number purple and the side letter, the side numbers white, I mean, that might have made it better, but that's just clashing. That's just, these colors are clashing, my homeboy. And that hood, you might just have to give them to them. This is marketing genius, because you actually have to look at the hood of the car for a good 5 seconds to be able to read what's actually on there. I don't think it's just my dyslexia coming into play here. You cannot read this shit. But it might be marketing genius, because you have to actually look at the car to see what the actual sponsor is. So maybe it's marketing genius. Or maybe it's just hideous. And then those fucking stripes. Are you kidding me with these stripes? Stop trying to make stripes work, Hendrik. You are bad at stripes. And like, there's no other colors. It's just the purple and black and then the hideous conflicting yellow. These colors are clashing. It's not okay, guys. Look, I understand Ally wanting to have a unique paint scheme. Like, okay, you don't want to have the exact same thematic paint scheme as the poopy stripes for Mountain Dew or the squares for Nationwide, right? I understand that. I understand Ally wants to be a little bit unique. There's being unique, and then there's being in competition for world's ugliest person. Okay, I'm just going to put it out there. I'm just going to put it out there. There's a difference. So why don't we make this paint scheme actually look at-able? Let's make this paint scheme not complete dog shit garbage. So I decided to keep the stripes, but I've blown them up. This is pretty much the stripes from the Poopy Mountain Dew car that I keep bringing up. But they are thinner, and there's a jagged edge to them. They look like crinkle-cut French fries, alright? I like French fries, alright? That's my excuse for this shit. Then you have the gradient transition from black to purple on the bottom. I love me a gradient. I love me a gradient. It's some good shit. And it keeps that purple identity while not giving you conflicting information. The hood is readable. Just a personal preference on that one. And I made the Ally logos on the side a little bit varietized there. There's still there's white and then there's purple accent colors on the side. You can read it, but it still looks unique. So this is my Jimmie Johnson number 48 Ally scheme. Unfortunately, I was unable to implement the yellow numbers because they just clashed too much with the actual car. I think the closest thing that you could do is maybe put the yellow on the roof number, but I really like the purple yellow. I really do like the purple number 48, guys. I really do. So if you hated the scheme just as much as me, feel free to submit better versions of it to my Twitter at KGONYT. If you like shit posting that is school appropriate, go to my Instagram page, also at KGONYT. Is that all my shit? I deleted Patreon, so I don't need to chill for that. But if you really like me a lot, you can use the direct donate PayPal link in the description. This is e-bagging at this point. It's no longer Patreon, it's just e-bagging. And is that everything? Have I shilled for everything yet? I think I've shilled for everything. So there you have it. This has been Scheme Review. To be honest, the only reason I made this video was so that I could say Scheme Review. Gonna be 100% honest on that one. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!